The ship sat in the harbor for 1,000 years. Every plank that rotted was replaced. Every sail that tore was mended, until nothing, not one splinter, remained of the original vessel. And the people still called it the same ship. Was it? The ancient Greeks asked this question about the ship of Theseus. But the Bhagavad Gita had already answered it. Not about ships, but about you. In the second chapter, Krishna speaks to a grieving Arjuna on the battlefield. Arjuna looks at the warriors across from him, his teachers, his cousins, his kin, and he collapses. He cannot fight. He cannot move. He believes that if these bodies fall, something irreplaceable will be lost forever. Krishna's response is quiet, almost gentle. Just as a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. The body changes. The soul, the witness, does not. Arjuna's crisis was not really about war. It was about identity. He had built his entire sense of self around roles: son, warrior, prince, and now those roles were in conflict with each other. He didn't know who he was beneath them. This is the human condition. We do the same thing. We build our identity around a job, a relationship, a version of ourselves we once were. And when those things change, when the planks are replaced, we panic. We grieve. We ask, if I am no longer that, then who am I? Buddhism meets this question with equal directness. The Buddha taught anatta, no fixed self. He described the self not as a solid thing, but as a river. The river has a name, it has banks. People point to it and say, that river. But not one drop of water in it today was there yesterday. The river is a process, not a possession. The Stoics saw it the same way. Marcus Aurelius wrote that time is a river of vanishing moments. Nothing holds its shape. The wise person does not cling to the shape. They flow with the current. 3 traditions. 1 recognition. What you call you has never been a fixed object. It has always been a living process. So here is the first insight. You are not the planks. You are the ship's journey. Every cell in your body is replaced over years. Every belief you hold has been updated since childhood. The person who was hurt 10 years ago, who made that mistake, who held that fear, that person is gone in almost every measurable way. And yet, you carry their guilt as though they are still here. You are punishing a ship that no longer exists for the sins of its old timber. The second insight is this. Continuity is not sameness. The river is not the same water, but it is still the river. You are not the same person you were, but there is something that has witnessed every version of you. The Gita calls it the Atman. Buddhism points to pure awareness. The Stoics called it the rational soul. The name matters less than the recognition. Beneath the changing planks, something steers, and the third insight is the most freeing. If you are not fixed, you are not finished. The person you want to become is not blocked by the person you have been. You can replace the planks. The journey continues. Here is the practice. Tonight before you sleep, sit quietly for just 2 minutes. Think of one identity you are holding tightly. A label, a story, a version of yourself you keep defending. Maybe it is, I am someone who always fails at this. Maybe it is, I am the person who was wronged. Maybe it is simply, I am not the kind of person who changes. Now ask, gently, when did I decide this? Is it still true? Or am I guarding an old plank that rotted long ago? You don't need to answer immediately. Just let the question breathe. The river doesn't stop to argue about its name. It simply moves. The ship of Theseus sailed for 1,000 years, not because its wood was immortal, but because someone kept choosing to sail it. You are not your history. You are not your cells. You are not the roles that have already changed 100 times. You are the one who keeps choosing to sail, to grow, to replace what no longer serves, and to move towards something truer. The ancient teachers did not ask, who were you? They asked, who are you becoming? That question is still alive, and so are you. Subscribe to LifeVeda for daily wisdom that transforms your life.